Good morning students. Today let's start with the new chapter, problem solving methodology. This problem solving methodology, it whole chapter depends on the solving a coding problem in using C or C++ language. So this problem solving, it may be of the kind of real life or computerized process. First we have to define the what kind of the problem it is, and next with help of this we know getting the what requirements should be needed for solving this problem. So first we understand computerized process. Computerized process. See, in real life or computerized, problem solving is a step by step method. First, in computerized process, we all know that today almost all human life sphere is occupied by computer. It may be in the all the fields, science, in your education and business, medical, everywhere computer should be used. So hence we have to need the how to solve problems using the computer. So for that we need language which is understandable by the computer. So in computerized process means for solving the any kind of the any kind of problems using computer, it is a step by step methodology to get an efficient solution. So hence for solving this computerized processes, so we know about man and machine interfaces. What do you mean by man and machine interface? We all know that by in difference in between a device and user, a friendly relationship is established by our operating system. OS is the main part which produces a friendly relation between the machine and user. So OS is nothing but a set of programs. Okay, OS is set of programs. Again, program is work under the set of instruction. So we using it with this set of instruction, we solving a step by step methods to get an efficient solution. So by using this set of instructions called programs, we have to solve this computerized problem using these conditions only. Next, a program is a set of instructions. So it may be all kind of languages, maybe machine level, assembly, or high level languages, C, C++, C#, any kind of language should be written in a set of instruction way. So we have, if user have to use the computer, means it must know any maybe of the machine level language or assembly level language. We user must have a knowledge about this machine level language and assembly language, because computer only understand the machine level language. In nowadays, for the user convenient, many of the languages should be established. Nowadays C++, C, Java, all these high level languages should be used, but user only understand the machine level language. So that we have to do that. If you may use any kind of the languages, at final you just converted it into machine level language. So we using the interpreter and compiler, and another one is assembler. So we using these three converters for converting any kind of the high level languages to machine level language. So this assembler it is developed along with this assembly level languages, and interpreter and compiler are developed along with this high level languages. So user have to must assign the programming language in machine level language only. So hence you may write in any kind of the languages, any kind of high level languages. At final you have to convert it into the machine level language. So final statement for this computer solving methodology is, it is a step by step procedure for getting an efficient solution. So we know that what all are the steps we have to follow for getting an efficient solution. Steps of problem solving. First is to problem definition, and second one is problem analysis. And next, third is to design of algorithm and flowchart. Algorithm and flowchart. Next, fourth is testing and debugging. Program testing and debugging. Okay. Fifth and last one is documentation. These all 5 steps we have to follow for a particular computerized solving methodology for getting an efficient solution. So we see here one by one. First one is problem definition. In problem definition, it may be of the real life complex problems or computerized problem. First you have to define the problem. Means it just clearly say that what we have to require to get an efficient solution. So this defining a problem is a very important step while solving this problem solving methodology. So again, while defining the problems, we may get some questions like what type of the program it is. For defining any kind of the problem, we get a first question as what kind of the program it is, or what kind of the task it will perform, and again what are the inputs should be required for that solving purpose, and again where that input should be come from. Okay. And again in terms of output means what type of the output will get, and last one is what are the requirements or constraint we have to required for solving this problem. Means so this problem definition step is whole that says what type of the problem it is, input, output, and what are the constraint requirements are should be required for solving this problem. All should be we know while defining this problem. Means we just glance to that problem and we know that about the input, output, and all about constraints. Okay. So hence this problem definition is a important step, and it is a basic step for this problem solving methodology. And next is to problem analysis. The problem analysis is simply is that it tells the input, output, and extra requirements. Okay. this problem analysis step is mainly focus on the input, means what type of the data we have to work with on, means which data we have to need to work with on, means if you give the raw data, then only the process will be continued, then only you have to solve the problem. So it focus on the this what kind of the raw data it will be. So input. Next output will be the resultant information or answer is called as the output. For getting this input raw data, we have to solving step by step and get on final accurate result. So it called as a output. And this extra requirements and constraints which are needed for solving this solution. Okay, these three steps for in terms of problem analysis. First you have to define a problem, and next just analyze the what kind of problem it is, and next third and important step is to design algorithm and flow chart. Okay, just we studied it later what are the algorithm and flow chart. Next fourth one is testing. Okay, testing, this is testing and debugging also important part type of the program. It is program testing and debugging. First here we have to defining the problem and know about the input and what you guess what output will be come, and you just take down the requirements and constraints what are needed, and after that in third step you design a algorithm and flow chart. After that we are writing a algorithm and flow chart. Next you have to writing here coding. Okay, now fourth step is to coding. After you writing algorithm and flow chart, we ready made with the code. After that writing algorithm and flow chart, you can easily write the code. Coding is nothing but a step by step process of solving a problem. Okay, means with help of algorithm and flow charts we get one code. It may be using header files, conditions, if conditions, else if conditions, all using this we just create a code or write a code in using the high level languages C or C++ as user convenient. Coding means we have to use all type of conditions and terms and write one C program or C++ program with help of this algorithm and flow chart. Just we will study later about this algorithm. And okay, coding is nothing but it is a step by step procedure and should be written in a C or C++ language. So fifth step is testing and debugging. While writing the code we have to check it for the errorless. Okay, so this bugging is nothing but a error. Bug is also called as error. So removing the error from the program is called as debugging. Okay, next testing means every step of the code is check for the error, and also debugging is also just is a process of checking the errors. Testing is with help of compiler. Compiler will test the program and debug the errors. Okay, debugging the error means removing the error from the code to get an errorless code. Okay, next last one is documentation, means is our final output. These are 6 steps, important steps for solving the problem using computer. Okay, next we have to study about what is algorithm. Designing of the algorithm and flowchart is also main step of the this problem solving process. Okay, algorithm. This algorithm and flowchart are the two main tools for using tools for the computerized solving process. Okay, so algorithm is nothing but a step by step finite sequence of instructions. Algorithm is a step by step finite sequence of instructions for getting an accurate solution. For getting accurate solution or result. You have to directly writing the code is a difficult task. Hence, this algorithm and flowchart are the two main tools are used for before the writing the code, which are these just helpful for writing the code in a easy way. Okay, this algorithm is a step by step finite sequence of instructions for this algorithm we needs for getting a accurate solution. Okay, this algorithm word comes from algorithm, which means process doing with arithmetic, with Arabic numerals, okay, process of doing arithmetic with the Arabic numerals. This computerized historian said that this algorithm should be developed by Muhammad al-Khwarizmi. Muhammad al-Khwarizmi has developed this algorithm procedure. Okay, this algorithm, it mainly contains 5 procedural steps for solving or helpful for the coding purpose. Okay, first is to input, or this is the main characteristics of the algorithm. First one is to input, second is definite, and third is effective. Next, output, and terminate. These are the main 5 characteristics of this algorithm. Okay, we see here one by one. Input is a procedural data which we have to give to solve the problem. Okay, it is nothing but a raw data. Okay, raw data should be given to the for coding solving. Okay, first it may be a raw data, means it may be 1 or 2 variables should be given for the problem solving. Okay, next, definite is nothing but a number of operation steps or operations should be definite, means should be clearly specify what kind of the problem we have to solve and what kind of the requirements or constraints we have to require. So this algorithm should be definite, means every operational step or operation should be definite for specifying the problem very clearly. Okay, this third one is effective, means every algorithm steps should be in an effective way, means in principle in that way it should be carried out by using the paper or pencil in minimum number of times. We have to copy this algorithm in minimum number of times In that kind of way it should be effective. Okay, next is to output. Next step, output. The whatever result or information should be get from through this algorithm is called as output. This is a resulting information, resulting data. Input is a raw data and this is resulting data. Next, terminate means here after completing all the steps of the algorithm we have to terminate here. This is a exit step. Okay, these are the main 5 characteristics of the output. This is a procedural data should be given for start the problem solving methodology. Second is definite, means every operation or operational steps of this algorithm should be definite for solving our problem. Okay, third one is effective. Every procedure or steps should be effective in a principle in way that it should be carried out by using pen or pencil in minimum number of times. Okay, next, fourth is output, whatever the resulting data with the help of above 3 steps. Next is to terminate. Here after completing all the steps or operation of the algorithm we have to terminate here our algorithm. Okay, these are the main 5 characteristics of algorithm. See here, we see one example how we have to write algorithm before writing our code. Okay, example, first you have to here when we take one example, find the area of rectangle. Okay, this is our problem, find the area of the rectangle. For this you know how you have to find the area of rectangle. This is r equal to L into B, length into breadth. We know how find out area of the rectangle. So using these variables we write here algorithm. See here how much variables we have to require? 3. One is resulting and another 2 variables we have to calculate. Okay, let's start with the algorithm. Step 1. Algorithm is a step by step procedure. Okay, step 1 here, start means start the algorithm. First step of the algorithm is always with start. Okay, second step is to assign input, assign inputs. Okay, now what are our inputs? L, B. Okay, these 2 are our inputs. Next, step 3 is find area. Okay, how we will find? Here find the area of the rectangle. If you mention a variable in question only, means stores variable in store or store result in this variable. So hence we have to take this only. So rectangle equal to L into B. Okay, this become our step 3. Find the area or calculate the area of the rectangle. So this is rectangle equal to L into B. So step 4 is print the result. Print the result or output. Output will be now this rectangle. Output equal to rectangle, and next final step is 5th is exit. Okay, this is a step by step procedure for writing the algorithm. Okay, first is to start, next assigning the input variables that are input length and breadth. Next step is to find the area of the rectangle, that is why you take rect means it in question only if you give stores the result in rect, otherwise you take it as r into l into b or rect into l into b. Next step 4 is to print the output, so output will be this rect variable. Okay, this is also variable name. And next fifth step is to exit. Okay, this is a step for writing the area of the rectangle should be stored in a variable rect. See here, another one algorithm is given 3 numbers a, b, c, find the greatest number and store the variable in large. So this is another one example for writing an algorithm. So first step is to, step 1 is always start. Okay, step 2 is assigning the inputs. Assign inputs. Assign inputs. So inputs are 3 variables a, b and c. Okay, third step will be, first we here assign, first here we have to assign large, assign a as large. This is our first step for comparing the all 3 variables, because we have to find it which is the greatest one in between 3. Okay, first assign a as large. We have to assume here, we have to assume that a is large. So now large equal to a. Okay, next step 4. Step 4, first you have to here assigning a large as a, next it check it for the b and c. So now compare large and b. Okay, so here we use if condition statement. This if, else if, nested if or you are studied in later chapter. Okay, you check for that if b is greater than large. Okay, it means if b is greater than a, because we have assigned here large as 1. So if b is greater than large, then you have to write large equal to b. Okay, or here end if statement should be end here. Okay, now step 5. Step 5 will become compare large and c. Here now large become variable b. So again if condition say that if c is greater than large. Okay, if c is greater than large, then large become c. This condition only true when if statement will be true, means this condition will be true. Okay, here if c is greater than large means then large become c, and again here end if. Okay, next step 6. Step 6 says that print the output. Print the output. So output will be now c. In between A, B, C, C will be large. We have compared one variable with another. So output is become large. So large or C, because now at final large equal to C. Output is large. Next step 7 is exit. Here our comparing and printing the output should be end. So last step is to exit. Okay, this is a algorithm for writing that given 3 numbers ABC, find the greatest and store the value in variable. First you have assigning 3 variables ABC. First you have to assume that large equal to A. Next after that comparing that large with the second variable B. Here we get that B is greater than large. So we print that large equal to B, or we getting that large equal to B. Next we have to do comparing that large variable along with the third variable C. Again that we get that large equal to C. So final we get that large equal to C means print the output as large. Okay, whatever may be it, largest value of in between 3. Next last step is to exit.